my bed to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. Will today be rough or will today be great? 9, 10, 11, 12. Lately I've been going through hell. 13, 14, 15, 16. Today's the day. Are you coming? Are you sick of being normal? I'm sick of being average. I'm sick of being mortal. I'm about to be a savage. I see a lot of things that I want, I will have them. I got a new mindset that I just established. I'll march through the cold with the nails on the pavement. I'll shovel that coal just to get out the basement. My story will be told, helping others make changes. I'll be so bold, they will watch in amazement.
Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time, you take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time, you take it.
Foot up on the pedal, pushing hard to the metal. Make a deal with the devil. Channel rage through my vessel into something that is special. Energy of a rebel, going up a level. I just wanna be greatness. I could feel changes, turn a new page and tie up my laces. I will be the bravest, break out of my cages. I will not be nameless, I will not be aimless.
Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time, you take it. Am I gonna face it? Am I gonna chase it? Am I gonna start or will I keep waiting? Time is limited, quickly fading. Get my mind right, it's my time, you take it.
You are now live with the Locked In Podcast. As always, your hosts for the evening, Steve Ushler and George Menchai. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not already subscribed, make sure that you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell to turn notifications on to stay up to date with the most current personal development tips and sports analysis. With that being said, welcome to the podcast and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, episode 161. Let me take that banner off the top since we got most people in here. I don't want that to block anything. What's going on, boys? I just want to welcome back into the podcast my boy Dante, a.k.a. King Tizzy, and I want to welcome back Mario as well. What's up, boys?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? What's up, guys?
What's going
on in
on?
The building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Getting it started tonight. I'm excited to go through this, even though I'm not going to lie, I'm a little salty because, you know, our Eagles, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So a little salty on this end to all them. I don't really know many Chiefs fans, but to all those 49ers fans out there that have been talking all season. Congrats, y'all, in the Super Bowl. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. We'll break down tonight, guys. Our predictions, nothing crazy. Like, this is the thing. Like, if it was like the Eagles, you know, I'd go all out, bets, everything. But, you know, I mean, if y'all want to offer, you know, I know Dante, I know you have like an Instagram like around like betting and stuff. I mean, if you want to talk about any of that tonight, feel free. But I do want to thank you guys for both joining me tonight. Thank you guys for joining.
Anytime,
Yeah,
bro.
so no problem, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So my boy Rich is going to be in here too. He'll be in here shortly, and he's been on the podcast before. Just want to make a small announcement. We had two people. Zach cannot come on the podcast tonight. He's got stuff with school and college and everything like that, so he's taking classes. He won't be able to come on. He actually told me like yesterday or 2 days ago. But Rob as well just told me about an hour ago he cannot make it tonight too. He had a random client meeting that popped up, and anything that's related to money, of course, that comes first. So, exactly, the dollars, you know what I mean, the money, you know what I mean. I'm not going to tell somebody can't come off the money. So, so Rob won't be making it, and then George. I'm assuming George will be in here whenever, but instead of where's Waldo, I'm kind of like, where's George at? So I guess George will be here when he gets here.
I hope he's not having connection issues again.
Yeah, we're having some connectivity issues last Thursday, but I mean the show still went on, so whether it was late or not. But yeah, again, thanks guys for joining in tonight. So what we're talking about, everybody, is Super Bowl 58. We got on Sunday. I believe it's at, I don't know if you guys know, is that 6:30? It's either 6 or 6:30 is when the Super Bowl is going to be happening this Sunday at the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl 58. Probably the Super Bowl, unless you're a fan of either team, that most people didn't want to see, didn't care to see. I mean, the Chiefs, if you're an Eagles fan, took it from us last year. And then this year, the Niners fans just continue to talk. You know what I mean? It's almost up there, right up there with Dallas with the fan base. So either way, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'll ask you guys. I mean, I don't even know if you guys care who wins, but we'll talk about our predictions. Keep it kind of short and sweet here. But I guess we can just dive into it. What are you guys' thoughts on this Super Bowl overall? I mean, obviously, Kansas City, third time being in the Super Bowl, I think, in 4 years. They are back in it. Can't deny that, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Team is a powerhouse, and even through all the obstacles that they faced this year, I mean, I got to give them credit. They still made it back to the Super Bowl. I literally gave them no chance to get to the Super Bowl this year. After all the drops and everything that was going on with that organization this year, I gave them no chance out of the AFC. I mean, obviously there was a thought that, you never really count Mahomes out or anything like that, but I didn't really think they were going to get back this year, if I'm being honest. And then the Niners, they were kind of the favorite to come out of the NFC anyway, headed into the playoffs. Looking at the Eagles when we went into the Niners game, at that point we were 10-1. Obviously, we felt we were the best team in football, and then we had a collapse. So the Niners, if you had to pick them, would probably be the team who I would have come out of the NFC going into the playoffs. But overall, I mean, either of you can go. What are your guys' thoughts on this matchup coming up this Sunday?
First of all, I want to say that the Eagles, I don't know what's going on with the organization, but it's not good right now. I heard a crazy prediction that that the Chiefs were going to win and Travis was going to propose to Taylor Swift, which would be crazy. But then you kind of could see how people say the NFL is scripted. I hope that doesn't happen. Not saying I don't want them to get mad or anything. I just don't want it to feel scripted or be scripted. You feel me? But I mean, if it happens, it happens. But don't make that really a script. Just a bit have views, because then you take the sports out of the game of football. But my predictions is, I feel like maybe something crazy like that might happen, which make people want to predict that. It's a good game, man. You got a lot of weapons on the field, so a lot of weapons.
Agreed.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to get the first touchdown?
Because it depends on who gets the ball. I think either of these teams can come right out of the gate and score on the first drive. So I really think that depends on who really gets the ball first, who receives the kickoff. Because I think the Chiefs could go down the field and score, and I also think that the 49ers could go down the field and score. I could see them punching it in with CMC, Christian McCaffrey. I guess that depends on the coin toss. I'll kick it over to you in a second, Mario. To be honest, if I give my thoughts on it, I don't know about the Taylor Swift script and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how true that is. He's going to propose. That's a little
I don't
crazy.
know. I don't think it is. I don't think he will. But if just because I heard that speculation,
I saw it too.
I'm not going to be
earlier.
shocked. Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, I'm like, even if he did, that would be blowing it because people are expecting it now. So.
Yeah. It's. I mean, hey, if he does, hey, hats off to them. Whatever. Best of luck. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I've been going back and forth. I think either of these teams can win the Super Bowl. They're both powerhouses. I think the more talented roster, I'm going to be honest, besides the quarterback position, is probably San Francisco. I said that actually before the season began, is outside of the quarterback position, I'll be honest, I thought that they were the top to bottom strongest roster in football, from the defensive side to the offensive side. Now, Brock Purdy has looked decent this year, but I did think that quarterback position was the position where they were weakest at, because nobody really knew what Brock Purdy realistically was. I still say I don't know. We'll see. Like, I know Niners fans might hate on me for this, but I still think we need to see a little bit more. I do think he's an extremely good game manager as of right now. But because I think if you take him and you put him in another system, you don't really know how good he's going to be. He's in the best offensive system in football, I would say, in San Francisco. I do think I definitely think they have the best offensive system. The weapons that he has, if you put him on an average team, I don't really know if he's able to bail a team out. And I've seen it already when the Ravens played them. When you put pressure on Brock Purdy, he makes a lot of mistakes. So I'm trying to be objective without like having like an opinion here, even though I know I'm an Eagles fan. Just being realistic, I still think he needs more time to really see. But he's in the Super Bowl, and even if he's an extremely good game manager, he could win the Super Bowl this Sunday. So,
but I feel like he might win the first half, and then the second half, I feel like we might be seeing actually the new Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, if people been saying it, I saw it last year. I was jumping up and down the last time we played in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. I'm thinking we were going to win. I'm hyped. There's no way he's hurt, comes back out of the tunnel and kills us. No excuse for that. I guess I had money on the game.
We all had the same. We had all the same thought. Me, Mario, and everybody. We were watching it somewhere last year for that game, and our boy Rob, who's not here right now. I would have jokingly blamed Rob for us losing the Super Bowl, because Rob and his boy at halftime they decided to go down to Broad Street and go to a bar like to get closer, because they thought the parade was inevitable. They're like, we're parade. They saw Mahomes hobbling. We're up 10. He's like, yo, I'm going to get closer, because we were like 5 minutes away from Broad Street. So they wanted to be like right there where it happened.
Yeah. Remember, I was calling you. I'm like, yo, bro, where y'all at? You said you're downtown. I said, I'll meet you.
Yeah. Because we were at the time, my boy Rich, who's going to come on. It was his girl at the time's place. So we watched the game there. It was cool. All of us. Yeah, no, it was a good time. I personally like that. If I'm able to watch it a Super Bowl like at someone's place with like good company, good vibes, and people that are around you, instead of going out to like a bar, you know what I mean? And then if the Eagles would have won, obviously we would have went down Broad Street and everything like that. But yeah, going back to this game, I just think the 49ers in the last two, the last two games that they played the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. In both games, especially the Detroit game, they got behind. The Packers game, they got behind. And Detroit let them back in the game because their defense all year has not been great. Green Bay's defense had not been great all year either, but their kicker missed a field goal. Small things happen. I think if they get behind to Kansas City, their defense is like top 3, top 5. If they do that against Kansas City, they're not coming back. That's my personal opinion, is if they need to be up in this game. If they get behind late in the game, they're not coming back. I don't think Kansas City's defense is going to allow them back into the game. So that will depend too. The Niners have to go up in this game, or they need to keep it relatively close without going down big. They definitely cannot go down big, because if they do, they're not going to come back. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'll kick it over to Mario before I kind of make a prediction here of what I think, because I'm actually still kind of thinking like this is going to be a good game, I think, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. But Mario, what are your thoughts on this game?
Nah, man, I'm looking forward to it, dude. I think it's going to be a great game. Two very, very even good teams. Both defenses are good. Both teams have a good offense. Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and then you got the Niners with Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel and George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk. So it's even. You can't. It's very, very even. I'm actually surprised that they have the Chiefs underdogs by 2.5 points. I figured it'd be an even line from like a betting perspective. But going back to the games in the NFC and the AFC title games, the Niners were very, very fortunate to get past the Lions. I felt that Detroit really, really coughed up a huge opportunity, especially when they went up by 2 scores in the second half. And then I think the Ravens just laid an egg against the Chiefs, man. They have been
Shout out to
blowing
Lamar
teams left
Jackson.
and right. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened, man. I mean, you can't be at home and then only score 10 points and expect to beat the Chiefs. That's just not going to happen. And they made very, very key mistakes down the line, especially on that one drive when they almost had a touchdown and Snell came out of nowhere and got the guy fumbled right before the ball crossed the goal line. And I think that's what really, really, turned that game around. It basically, put the end to the door and it allowed the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. But hey man, you got to give them credit. They've struggled all year offensively, but they got hot at the right time, and they deserve to be in the Super Bowl, man. And I'll be rooting for Big Red, bro. You know me, I'm a huge Andy Reid guy. I've always loved Andy Reid from the time he was in Philly. I wish he had won the Super Bowl here with us, man. It would have been huge to, have another parade down Broad Street. But I'll be rooting for the Chiefs, bro. I think the Chiefs are going to win 34-27.
Yes, so
What's up, George? I didn't realize you popped in.
I popped in and I was having some trouble, man. My bad. I was a little late because I had some insurance situation, but I'm here now. So I caught a little bit of. I caught some of the show. Like I actually heard a little bit what you guys were saying about 5 minutes, from 5 minutes ago till now. So I've been listening. Yeah, okay. Man. What's going on, yo? Is that my man? Is that Rob?
No, that's not Dante.
Dante, oh, is
yeah,
Dante.
what's up?
Okay.
What's
Dante,
up, buddy?
Marius, me. What up, everybody? So yeah, man. The Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah. So we're just talking about the matchup stuff like that. Yeah, no, Marius, you're spot on with that Ravens game. Honestly, the two things that lose you a game is you get right there when you spend time of possession getting all the way down the field, you fumble inside the freaking 3-yard line. Eagles had some games like that this year too. You're not going to win the ball game. And not only that, they also had it. I think Lamar had an interception in the end zone too. So yeah, you get the fumble and the interception right inside the end zone in the red zone. That's a recipe for disaster. But yeah. I will say this, as much as they laid an egg, and yes, Lamar Jackson definitely laid an egg at home, that Chiefs defense looked phenomenal. So that defense looked great. They knew that's the one thing the Eagles defense does not do. Like Snell, put his hand in there and punch that ball out inside the freaking 2-yard line. Like that's what our guys need to do more. Legion of Boom.
I don't know what happened to our defense, man. I've never seen that game against the Buccaneers, man. I like high school teams can tackle better than they did, man. It's like they completely quit, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I have something to say, man. And this is a shout out to Lamar Jackson again. Lamar Jackson, even though he lost, he made like one of the most incredible plays I ever seen in football history, and that's the pass to himself.
To himself.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, man.
That's
pretty
something
incredible.
It's something that you see like on a commercial or like during like the Pro Bowl or something. But to do that in an actual game and catch it and get a couple yards out of it is amazing. It's phenomenal. If he could have pulled the win off and got the Super Bowl, he would have went down as the GOAT for this year. I felt like that catch was amazing, man. It was a good play because he made something happen out of nothing that was falling, and he made something happen. So shout out to that play.
You really
did. Top 10 play of the year.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an extremely good play, man. It's a shame. I kind of wanted. I would love to have seen the Ravens and the Lions. The Lions one was heartbreaking. I really wanted to see the Lions get their first Super Bowl. My boy Todd commented in here. He said, I feel the better coach and quarterback will win, which is Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, but I'm not putting money on it, which is a first for me since I'm actually at the Borgata in my room watching this podcast supporting my brother. Todd, what's up, brother? Yeah, I actually just saw Todd on Saturday down at the Borgata, and we were actually talking about this. So my God, man, thanks for commenting and supporting my brother. I appreciate you. But to be honest, if I have to go my prediction, so Mario gave his. I do have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to win. But, Mario, I'm also not surprised that there is a 2.5-point line. I think the better roster is San Francisco. I really do. I think that they're the better roster. Obviously, the better quarterback is Patrick Mahomes. But if you look at the rest of the roster, as good as the Kansas City Chiefs defense is, the Niners defense is a top 3 defense too.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to lose the first half, and it's either they come back from it, and they also have a chance. They have definitely have weapons to score, but I mean, you got roster, you got Kelsey. The receivers are pretty cool, but it's just I don't think they have the talent that 49ers have. But then you have the quarterback that's a superstar. I honestly really feel like it can really go either way because of that. He has experience. That's like the main key, especially having experience of being blown out and coming back.
Yeah. I
That's something you can't buy, man. You gotta have it.
Yeah, I
Hard to
will
teach
say
that.
I will say this Niners team definitely has some experience in the Super Bowl because they were there about 3 years ago. But some of the players are different. Like Purdy's never been in the Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
This will be his first time. Some of the players are different. But I like some of the guys on San Francisco. There's other ones I don't like. Like I think Fred Warner's an absolute beast. Dude's a stud. Wish the Eagles had him, to be honest. He's a leader on the defense. But I know more people that are 49ers fans. And honestly, if I put my subjectivity and bias aside, good for them if they win the Super Bowl. I know that they probably wouldn't say the same for us as Eagles fans but whatever. No, all bitterness aside, good for them if they win. They'll probably won't shut up about it for like another 25 years if they do win. But at the end of the day, good for them if they win. I don't have if you ask me who I'd want to win, either way, it's a lose-lose. Like if the Chiefs win, the team that stole the Super Bowl from us on kind of a bogus call last year, they kind of ripped our hearts out, wins a Super Bowl. You see Andy Reid win another one and Patrick Mahomes and all this stuff. But if they win, then you get the whole Taylor Swift thing. If the Niners win, the fans just, don't shut up about it for another 25 years.
I think the Niners got a good chance.
But I know more fans. I don't know any Chiefs fans personally. I'm trying to think. I don't know any Chiefs.
I know a couple Chiefs fans, actually.
Yeah, were they Chiefs fans before Patrick Mahomes got there?
Yeah, I guess they were Chiefs fans for
a while. Before Patrick Mahomes, because if they weren't,
like them because they've been winning a lot lately, so they have more room to talk shit. But
yeah. I was gonna say, I actually have a Chiefs football somewhere in this house, and it's from back in the day because Dylan used to.
I have a Chiefs
my brother.
Scully.
Yeah, my brother. My brother was a Priest Holmes fan. Who's if you're a legitimate Chiefs fan, you know who Scully.
Yeah, they used to have some good teams back in the day. I remember when they had Tony Gonzalez as a tight end, and they also had Larry Johnson in the backfield. Man, those Chiefs teams were actually really good back then. They just couldn't get over the hump, but their offense was actually really, really good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like the Chiefs because the legitimate Chiefs fans will know these names. Tony Gonzalez is an obvious one; he's a Hall of Famer. But it's so I don't have any bias either way. I can put my bitterness to the side. I don't want Eagles fans at the end of the day, but my emotions for the Eagles have just, they've gone down at this point because we've had enough time to process this and everything like that. So, if the Niners win, hey, good on them. You know what I mean? They got a Super Bowl. Their team was talented as hell. And, good for them. But if the Chiefs win, same thing. Patrick Mahomes gets one closer to Brady. And, the narrative is Taylor Swift and Kelsey. And
yeah, it's going to be a Hollywood love story, bro. It's going to be disgusting.
Yeah. Kermit wins the Super Bowl. And
yeah, you watch Hollywood's going to make a movie about it, man. The best singer and the best tight end get together. It's a love story in the making.
Did you hear the thing when it was like
Tesser's gonna pull up.
Did you hear the one when it was like when Patty Mahomes, they had the what did they have? It was like an audio and it was like a guy sounding like Kermit over him. He's like, I'm here, like Kermit the Frog, doing I'm here in Kermit the Frog's voice. I was like, dude, he really does sound like Kermit. But all bias aside, I'm not gonna lie. I guess it'd be good for Andy to get another one too. But I don't have.
I'm not gonna lie, man. So when I have to vote for a team, even though they beat us, I do vote for Andy just because he was our coach for a very long time. And we've been through a lot since I was a kid, man. We've been through a lot with Andy Reid. So
yeah, Marius, when did Andy come here? 96?
He came here in 99, bro.
Oh, 99, got you. So
yeah, 99, he left in 2012, so he was here for 13 years, bro.
Yeah, wow.
5 NFC championship trips, 1 trip to the Super Bowl, but I really wish that I won that game. Had McNabb not thrown 3 interceptions, maybe we could have won. Who the hell knows?
Wow. So he was there 13 years, and then he's almost been here. He's almost been there 13 years. Wow. 25 years he's been coaching. He's been with the Kansas City Chiefs for 12, and he's been with us and he was with the Eagles for 13. Wow. Almost split right down the middle in terms of time.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, absolutely.
Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Top five coach of all time. And if he keeps inching closer and closer to Belichick's Super Bowls, I'll tell you what, he's going to probably go down the best all time. So, I mean, I think I I just think I do agree. Me and Mario were talking about this. I think that the fact that Andy was able to do it with two organizations, he got us to the Super Bowl so close to getting, winning it. If anybody who actually listened to Hollis Thomas when he came on here, former Philadelphia Eagle, who's been on this podcast before, he even stated that Spygate stuff, it looked legitimate because Jim Johnson had designed a scheme for the Super Bowl that Jim Johnson was the Eagles' former defensive coordinator in 04-05 when we went to the Super Bowl, or 03-04, I forget what year, but
okay.
And he designed a scheme that had never been seen before. It was a defensive scheme that was specifically put together for if the Eagles got to the Super Bowl. And New England knew everything the defensive scheme was throwing at them. So they knew right away, like they talked to each other after the first drive or two, and they said, they know what we're doing. So he came on this podcast and literally he said that, and he said it on another podcast too. He's been on other podcasts as well. And he said that they knew exactly what that defense was throwing at them. So there's no way that could have been a coincidence.
Yeah, and the Rams with the Rams when they won that first Super Bowl, bro, back in 2002, the Rams said the same thing, man. The Patriots spied on their I think before the Super Bowl, like the teams practice and they do their running plays that they're going to do for the Super Bowl. And the Patriots somehow were able to spy on them, so they knew exactly what plays the Rams that year were going to run. And the Rams, I think, said the same thing that Hollis Thomas said. They said they had the same thing done to them.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Andy technically could have won a Super Bowl here too, and he already has two there with an opportunity to make it 3 in Kansas City. So yeah, he's an absolute Hall of Famer, and I said top 5 coach all time, maybe even top 3 to be honest, with maybe Shula and Belichick. I'll be honest, like Don Shula, Belichick, and probably Reed.
It's one coach
Welcome in, Rick.
That's like a Hall of Famer. What's up, man?
What's up, Rich?
Which is a Hall of Famer. Do you think like the game Madden name would change after a few years? Like, do you think it would be called Belichick or Andy or something else, or would it remain Madden?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think it could possibly at some point, but I don't think. I think they would probably be very far removed from the game by the time that they do it. I don't think it'll be something like maybe when they retire so quick, that they would do it quickly. It may be, but football maybe 50 years, 30 years, 20 years from now, maybe. Some what Todd said, I actually wouldn't mind 49ers winning because Brock Purdue, he changed it to Purdy down there. Brock Purdue is Mr. Irrelevant but humble and a man of God. Seems like a good dude. Plus, he's not making any money and has to get the bag. Yeah. I mean, definitely a man of God, and you know what I mean. He seems like a good guy. I got no personal. I just, it's good. Rich, we were actually just talking. We gave our predictions, so I'll actually let you give yours in a second. And we were saying, I don't care who really wins to me. I mean, it's a lose-lose if the Chiefs win. The team that stole the Super Bowl from us last year, kind of off a bogus call, wins.
Yeah.
If the Niners win, their fans ain't or be talking about it for another 25 years. Either way, I said, I know more Niners fans. I don't care who wins either way. If the Niners win, I'll put my bitterness aside. As much, not all Eagles fans will, and I know Niners fans definitely probably wouldn't do it for us. They win, hey, whatever. You won your Super Bowl. Congratulations. I mean, you could talk about it for another 25 years, but if they win, I know more Niners
they're
fans.
Never going to shut up though. If they win, even the Chiefs fans are going to be definitely very hyped, but they're okay. They're better than Cowboys fans. They're better than
if the Chiefs win,
fans.
Exactly. If the Chiefs win, and if the Chiefs win, man, it's on. Whatever. Like Patrick Mahomes gets one closer to Brady, and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and
Steve, thank God that the Cowboys are not in it, man. Because thank God the Cowboys aren't in it, because if they won, we would hear about it for the next century, dude.
Oh, if the Cowboys are in it, I'm rooting Kansas City all day, and that's not even a question. Because Dallas is the only team I could that could make this Super Bowl worse, is if Dallas was there. I'll never root for the Cowboys. So if it was Kansas City versus Dallas, I'm rooting Kansas City. It's not even.
If it was the worst team, where's Dallas? We're rooting for the worst team.
Yeah, if it was even possible to be San Francisco, which is versus Dallas, which obviously it's not an NFC game, I'm rooting for San Francisco.
But I got San Fran over Dallas all day, though. I mean, San Fran would destroy Dallas at this point. You mean?
Yeah, Dallas hasn't been able to beat San Francisco in I don't even know the last time they beat San Francisco.
I'm saying, bro. But anyway, I think the teams that deserve it the most are probably in a Super Bowl right now, because the Eagles started great, and then we just got completely dismantled, and we stunk after that.
I would say
already.
Yeah, both teams deserve to be there, but I would say
there was a fairy tale story, the Detroit Lions story, but better teams prevailed.
I need CD Lamb to make a conscious decision and come to Philly.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to have him with AJ Brown though. That's the thing. We have Devontae and him. We have the best wide receiver duo in football. Anybody can challenge me.
I think Devontae Smith is somebody was telling me, is he better than AJ Brown? I don't know.
I personally don't think so, but I do think that Devontae Smith
right now.
Devontae Smith is a phenomenal wide receiver. There is no doubt about it. Anybody can comment in and challenge me on this, but we have the best wide receiver duo in football and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's the number one on most teams. So you have him and AJ Brown. It's the number one wide receiver duo in football. So
yeah, I feel like AJ Brown needs to get past the double team. Like I feel like at your level of receiving, when you're a wide receiver, you need to like practice triple, double coverage, maybe like more like you just need to practice like more defenders coming after you and you coming out with the ball. I feel like once you practice that and practice and get used to that, you can take it to the game. Like Kobe says, you gotta have that mama mentality. You can take that into football. You gotta have that heart.
I gotta challenge that one, Tizzy. I gotta challenge that one. To simple fact, like
we lost
this last season. Like if you look at the running routes that Brian Johnson had for our receivers, it was very predictable. And I mean, it was a blessing that they caught a lot of the balls they caught this season was single coverage, let alone double coverage. Because if you look back to, I don't know if you remember in the 2022 season, the Steelers game. I don't know if you remember when AJ cooked double coverage. I mean, he dominated double coverage. And obviously we had a different coordinator back then, but you'll be surprised how, and you hear reports of the players complaining to the offensive coordinator, the coach, saying the routes are too predictable. They already know where we're going to run. They already know what we're going to do. We got to mix it up.
So much for those screenplays, Rich.
Because I feel like I went to a couple games and I can hear the fans calling out the plays. Like, if your fans are calling out the plays, like, stop, run the ball, don't pass it. If your fans are starting to yell out what to do, like, that's the problem. So we definitely have a problem with our coaching staff. Another thing is, I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like these players been playing the game so long that they at any time, especially at their level, they can say fuck what the coach says. Let's run our own play. We gotta win this game. And only a couple quarterbacks may have did that in the NFL. Maybe some things we don't know. But in that moment, I think
Coach tried to. I think he did. He audibled a lot, but it's just
I do understand. We had a hard season.
Yeah,
these are professionals, though. They protect. They're almost like programmed to protect their coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like almost like you, even down to when Brian Johnson is headed out, AJ Brown not necessarily defending him or protecting him, but not necessarily throwing him under the bus either. Even though we seen the facial expressions. As a fan when you see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I like Jalen Hurts, I mean, like the sulking on the sideline, shaking the head is just not a good look. That's my guy. I hope that I do have a lot of confidence in the Eagles. I'm gonna be honest. We stay healthy. Yeah, you've heard it here first. I mean, if the Eagles stay fully healthy next year, there's no issues, and we're able to get this coaching staff running. I do firmly believe the Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl next year. So
Kelsey, come back, Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it depends. I don't know if Kelsey's going to be back. I that would be huge if Kelsey does come back. He hasn't officially retired yet, but I do agree. So Todd had commented in here. He said, I agree with your comments. We do have the best wide receiver duo in the league. AJ is slightly better than Devontae, especially with how physical he can play, which I do agree with. He said we do. Yeah, he said we do need Jalen to be healthy, and I'm hoping Kellen Moore's scheme will take us to the next level.
That last part, what he said, I'm hoping Kellen Moore's scheme will take us to the next level. Yes. That right there is the key, man. Because with Brian Johnson, bro, how many times did those screenplays, man, came back to haunt us, dude? Like, the fans knew 3 plays ahead of what the Eagles were running, man. Imagine what the opposition knew, dude. So that right there is going to be the key.
One of the big things that I really want to see happen that I mean should have been happened a long time ago. I feel like they should give Brian Dawkins a shot as a defensive coach.
Maybe like a safe like a safeties. I don't know how they have that like the backfield coach or something. I definitely wouldn't make him like the defensive coordinator just because he doesn't have coaching experience yet. I think
Yeah,
sometimes
he's him out.
I wouldn't give
He's
him a
him out.
coordinator. Yeah, but maybe like a safeties. You know how Al Harris is like the corners coach in like Dallas, so like
Yeah,
he was a big part of what they were doing with like what's his name DeRon Bland when he was having the pick six, like he works with a lot of the
yeah.
cornerbacks. I would like, that would
We
that would
need
be
that.
interesting to bring
We need
Dawkins in
something
on
like
that.
that.
Yeah, a
Put him
guy
on
who
the coaching staff. Yeah, defensive coaching staff.
yeah. It's a shame because like the type of play that Dawkins would play and stuff like that. I'm not saying the NFL's defense isn't physical because there's still physical players. Look at the Niners defense, but that style of defense, unfortunately, today it's like they've gotten so soft with the NFL. It's crazy.
Yeah,
The stuff
uh,
Dawkins did probably wouldn't fly today. He'd get flagged for like a ton of the hits that he used to make. And I just want to go back to this Kellen Moore scheme thing real quick. So I do agree with that. The one thing I look about Kellen Moore is if you see he uses a lot of motion in the offense, and that was one thing that the offense completely lacked this year. There was no motion, completely predictable. I know Dallas fans are laughing; they're like, "Oh, you guys got Kellen Moore and stuff like that." But I don't think he was horrible in Dallas. A lot of the offensive play calling probably went through Mike McCarthy. I don't think he was the greatest offensive coordinator in the world, but he has the talent here in Philadelphia to make this work. And he does use a lot of motion and he can mix things up, which I think is huge. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think it could be worse than Brian Johnson.
I mean, look at the route running trees versus Brian Johnson. I mean, they posted it on national media. Pretty much
it was
like
horrible.
it's a big difference. A lot of Brian Johnson's play calling has kept receivers from going across the middle. Like he doesn't use the whole field. And that's why if you notice during the games you saw Jalen Hurts scrambling to the left. You saw Jalen Hurts scrambling to the right. It's because the way that he had the wide receivers were left to right. He didn't have them doing a lot of cross routes. He didn't, and like Steve mentioned, it wasn't a lot of pre-snap motion. And when it's not a lot of pre-snap motion, you don't keep these cornerbacks. You don't get your mismatches, right? You don't mix up, because you see how Dallas Cowboys, and I know you mentioned CeeDee Lamb earlier. CeeDee Lamb is always doing pre-snap motions. He's always moving around. So he's gonna catch he's gonna catch that mismatch. And that's why he's so good, you know what I mean? Because they could switch him around, move him around. Slade's gonna try and keep up as much as he can, but because of the pre-snap motion, because of the play calling and the uniqueness and the movement, he's not gonna have him every play. They're gonna get that mismatch, and that's what Eagles gotta learn how to do.
Absolutely. It's going to be really interesting to see. I don't know if you guys saw Brian Johnson is now the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. So, good luck. He got the Commanders offensive coordinator position. So who's the coach that went there? I forget.
Dan Quinn.
Oh, yes. Good luck with that. But I mean, it's not really an attractive job over there in Washington, so I don't think they cared who they really got because I mean, it's not.
They do have new ownership now, so maybe who the hell knows?
We'll see. They have a lot to turn around.
I know this is about football right now, but I was kind of sad about losing Pat Beverly today.
For the Sixers, yeah.
We got a good person in return, but I mean, I feel like he was really connecting with Philly.
Who do we get for Pat Bev? Because I heard we just got a second round pick. I didn't really look into it, to be honest. Who do we get for Pat Bev? I heard it was just a second round pick, but I know we did get Buddy Hield, and we gave up.
We got Buddy Hield.
We got Buddy Hield, and we gave up. I think Morris. We gave up Marcus Morris.
That was kind of messed up too.
Yeah, Korkmaz as well. We gave up, and I think we gave up a pick for that as well. And we got. I like Buddy Hield. It's a volume 3-point shooter. I think it could help, but we still need a star. So I'm hoping the Sixers.
It was a guy that I forgot his name. He scored like 40 points in the last like 2 or 3 games, and he was up for grabs. And I thought like if we were going to trade for people, we were going to get him. because we need somebody that can give us 40 points a game.
Yeah, Sixers just always bum me out because it's like, Dallas Cowboys fans can probably can relate to this out there. We can never ever get past the second round, and look, now Embiid's got the meniscus, and it's just like it just seems like I don't know. It's like we sacrificed the Sixers and every other team in this city for the freaking Eagles Super Bowl in 2018.
Yeah, it says the Philadelphia 76ers trading guard Patrick Beverley to the Milwaukee Bucks for campaign and a second round pick.
Oh, we got campaign. I like campaign.
I know this.
Okay.
I know this was crazy, but man, if we could have got Dame in Philly, it would have what? I know it was crazy, but if it could have happened.
The only issue is they wanted Maxey. We would have had to give up Maxey. It's just there's no way around it. So I mean, you give up Tyrese.
I feel like Maxey is a good. He's his season so young and the points that he's scoring is crazy. Yeah, so he might dominate the league at one point. Exactly. He's still growing though. Yeah, and we for some reason the Sixers always give up a new player that goes out somewhere and does great. So we need to stop doing that. We need to stop that trend.
Yo, Niners fans out there, Niners fans and Chiefs fans, yo, tap in here, yo. Where y'all Niners fans at? I feel like these Niners fans.
Ooh, y'all both suck.
Yeah, I want to see some Niners fans.
Yeah, I want to see some comments, man. It's like where y'all Niners fans at? Because I know Niners fans are talking the most.
Did everyone already say who they wanted to win already, or?
Well, we also most of us don't really.
It's a 50-50. Yeah, it's a 50-50. I'm more concerned on the stats and the bets that I'm making. More than who actually wins.
Yeah, we gave our predictions. Mario said that he at 34-27, right? Chiefs, you said?
Yes.
I don't have a score, but I have a gut feeling the Chiefs are going to win. The more talented roster is, Mary said they're a 2.5-point favorite than Niners. Doesn't shock me. Niners have the better roster. Better quarterback is Mahomes. I just have a gut feeling that the Chiefs are going to pull it out. And I have a feeling the NFL, if it's a close game, is going to find a way to, influence that game. And I think it'll favor the Chiefs. But if the Niners get behind in that game, I said that they're not going to come back because they did it 2 weeks in a row against Green Bay and Detroit, who don't really have particularly great defenses. If they get behind to a top 3 defense in Kansas City, they're not coming back. So the Niners have to go up. They have to go up in that game. They don't have to go up huge, maybe. It can still be close, but they have to be leading that game majority of the game, I think, to win. I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to win. Dante, who did you say? Who was your prediction to win? The Chiefs, right?
I said if I had to pick, because we had Andy Reid as our coach for so long, I would go with the Chiefs. Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty 50-50. I wouldn't mind somebody else winning too because they beat us last year. But what I do say is if Purdy wins, is all because of heart. He needs the heart. You can't lose that. The motivation, the mind, the skill. It all goes into having heart, because even if you're losing, you got to have that mindset that we're going to win this game, and that's the key to this game.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts, Rich? Who do you think's gonna win this one?
I'm gonna go with Tizzy on this. I think that I think the Chiefs are gonna pull it out. I think I like Andy Reid. I like his experience. He been there. He knows how to handle and talk to his team in these situations. The 49ers have choked away in recent history, choked away the Super Bowls that they've been in and big moments that they've been in. So when it comes down to it, in the heat of the moment, like I've always said, and I even said with the Pack, really, they should have lost the game against the Packers, 49ers. I don't know if you ever remember me saying, but I thought the Packers were going to win that game versus 49ers. And a lot of people
field goals missed, and that's the whole game.
Missed 2 field goals, I think.
Maybe. I know we missed at least one.
Yeah, I know they missed at least one, but they could have won that game. They fumbled that bag, and I feel sorry for a lot of players on the Packers because it's a team that no one really thought could get there, and they got there. So proud of the Steelers, proud of the Packers. But I just think that the Chiefs are going to pull it out. I listen, y'all know how I feel about San Fran as an Eagles fan. But at the end of the day, it's a talented team. They got a great roster. They got great players. Respect their linebacker. What's the linebacker? What's the one?
Fred Warner.
I respect Fred Warner for speaking up and confronting that team's whininess about last year, and kind of saying, yeah, we shouldn't have even been whining all off season about losing. We lost, So I do respect that. Most of the other players on 49ers, I don't really care for, to be honest with you. I'm not getting personal in a sense. I'm just saying in terms of professionalism. I just don't think that they're there yet. I don't think that they're mature yet as a team.
Yeah,
To be able to make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They
hey,
got-
if
they
you say
also
fuck
got
the Niners, fuck the Niners. You know what I mean? Hey, we don't care, man. To be honest, it's just I don't like. I think the emotions have died down because the Eagles have been out of it, for a few weeks now. So for me, I don't really have any bitterness. I mean, if they win, I know people who are Niners fans. Cool. If you win, whatever. Hats off to you. I think the Eagles will be back in it next year. But I mean,
Debo, shout out to him.
Debo talks a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I will say though, he
He
talks,
talks, but his sports, like his athleticism this year really like showed me something because I didn't think he was that good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I will say
Like,
this.
he kind of proved it to me this year.
Yeah, Debo talked that shit, came into the link, and freaking backed it up. I mean, I can't. Well, our defense plays soft. Our defense plays soft. I can't even hate. I have to be freaking realistic here. Our defense played soft as
Soft's
shit.
not even the word for it, man.
Yeah.
We just need a whole new defensive.
I think we do have a lot of talented on the defense. I think that the schemes in this again, the defensive side was horrible this year. Sean Desai was not qualified to be a freaking defensive coordinator, and Matt Patricia. I mean, just. I have no clue what was going on the defensive side this year. They need to have better practices, and they need to learn how to freaking wrap up when they tackle. Because I know, Rich, remember, didn't you send me a link? It was like what their practice are. You're like, yo, this is a suspect practice. What the hell's going on here? Like this.
Well, yeah, it was
soft.
I can't even think right now in my brain, but our defensive lineman that went over to San Fran.
Hargrave.
Javon Hargrave was like, yo, I love the Eagles. I love it here in San Fran, but he was like, I gotta keep it being. San Fran practices, they throw down. Like they kind of Eagles practices is kind of soft compared to San Fran. Like he really spoke some real truth on that, and I respected that. I was like, yo, like, I appreciate him putting that out there so that like the fans know, like, kind of, listen, we might need new coaches here.
Yeah,
we need coaches that's hungry for a chip. We need like as much as the players is. Not for like me. I'm not saying they're not, but like somebody that's like, you know what, we going to win. Like, we need that heart. We need to bring that heart back. That dog. We keep saying we the underdogs. We need that dog on the field.
Exactly.
Do y'all think that's Vic Fangio? Do you think for our defense that is Vic?
He's definitely an experienced coordinator.
I
think it was a good hire.
Yeah, I need to see what's going to happen next season. My mind is open to what we could become. Definitely hope we get some new players this year that can like turn this team around too. That can contribute to like a Super Bowl winning team for next year. It's a tough. I'm losing words. It's a tough thing when I talk about this. It's like,
yeah,
we just been through a lot this year, man. I thought we was gonna make it.
I do like Vic Fangio. Marius might know, or any of you guys might know. Was he the defensive coordinator for the Broncos the year they won it in 2016, or was that somebody else?
I think he was actually, because I do know he was the defensive coordinator up there, and then I think he was also the defensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears at one point. And I think he went down to Miami, and Miami let him go, and that's when we picked him up.
Let me see.
I just need to see what he can do with the Eagles. I need to see if it's going to be a good fit, because you can have like a good player, a good coach, and it might not be a good fit. So I need to see what happens in the first couple games next year and see how we flow into the season.
Hopefully it can't be any worse than what we experienced last year, man. Especially in some of those games with the tackling.
Honestly, I felt like some high school kids could have destroyed our defense, man.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually Wade Phillips. So I think Vic Fangio was there at one point, though. Now, I like Vic Fangio. I mean, he's a little older, but he's old school. But I think that
Right,
he'll have
he
a
did.
tougher. I think they'll have a tougher defense. It's not that we don't have the talent on the defense, that's for sure. We do lack in the linebacker positions and the safety, to be honest. But our corners, Bradbury though, he's got to go. You got to get rid of Bradbury. You have to pick up another corner. But Slay's still talented. He's still got talent. Defensive line, there was no excuses for not getting to the quarterback this year. That defensive
I was
line.
upset at Slay this year. I was very upset with Slay because I thought that we picked up a beast. I mean, he was not saying he wasn't good. I just thought I know we had some problems with our coaching, but I thought that we had the answer at one point. So we'll see what happens.
We need better linebackers and better. Yeah, I mean, we struggle with the linebacker position. We need better linebackers for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we got a whole new linebackers coach. Got a whole new, obviously a defensive and offensive coordinators, but also a new cornerbacks coach. So I'm when it comes when the coordinators change, the rest of the staff, below them change most of the time. That's how it goes in the NFL. So it's nice to see, just some new faces and more experience, because I believe Vic Fangio has 23 years of coaching experience. So that's just like, the guys that we had on offensive and defensive coordinator, they had like 3-4 years of experience, like, in between 2 and 4 years. And that's just not enough. Like, for me to be a coordinator that high like that, I need at least 5 years experience as a coordinator. So it's just good to get more people who have seen things in the NFL, seen different looks, seen how teams operate, because teams, NFL is a copycat league, right? So like they gonna learn what you're doing, whatever that you're doing, right? And this is why we did so good early in the season, right? Because as the coordinators that we currently have, yeah, they're capable. I'm not saying that they were horrible coordinators, because at the end of the day, they won us 10 games, right? But that does not speak to their ability to adjust, right? So you could be a talented coordinator in the sense of your ideas and what you bring to the table. But the NFL, if you can't be a coordinator that knows how to adjust under pressure, you're not going to succeed in the NFL. And those coordinators did not know how to adjust, right? So when the NFL, I think 49ers, they had said, I don't know if y'all remember when we lost to the 49ers, obviously can't forget that game. But they said, we cracked this code, right? We figured them out. And then other NFL teams started copying. Remember when we lost to the 49ers, Eagles were never the same the rest of the season. They had cracked the code to our offense. What did our offense try to do? How do we adjust? We did more of the same BS. And you can't do that in the NFL. You have to continue to change. And I like what Kellen Moore was saying. Like, listen, you gotta adjust. You gotta make your adjustments quick, because it's a week by week league. You know what I'm saying? One day in the week you could beat the Bengals. The next week you could lose to the Bills. So and you know how the mainstream media is going to react to that. Exactly, upsets to happen. So
exactly.
Now one thing that I do want to say is I really think that, and I saw Jalen throwing the ball on some thing on Instagram. I think this offseason he needs to work on his throwing the ball, just accuracy, how far you can throw, see if you can throw farther, improving your quarterback skills and see how you can get better. Maybe work with some Hall of Fame QBs, or just get some advice from them. Also work out with some regular QBs that might be a competition in the regular season, but see if you could just work out with them in the off season. I wouldn't have no problem if he started working out with Mahomes. I wouldn't see that no problem, because you need to build. You need to build your skill level. Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Purdy, everybody improves in the season. They all had an awesome season, but at the same time, you can see the improvements that they made in the other years. You can see where they come from. So I feel like I think Jalen needs to reflect on the season and really like take the time to like mature and work on his skill level. Not saying his skill level is bad, but it can always get better, and we need him to get better because his passing needs to improve a little bit more. So
Yeah, and I think Jalen will. I think he'll continue to improve a little bit each year.
yeah,
I do believe that. Todd
I
commented in.
want him to get a ring.
Yeah, of course. Todd commented in. He said, secondary needs fine tuning. We need to tackle and also strip the ball, get grimy like Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs, Ravens. Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen with this defense in a while.
They disappeared on us.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't seen in this defense in a while is a defense that punches the ball out, tries to force turnovers. You know, we've seen this a lot this year, but we would see the defense, you know, when they would get close to the out of bounds line. You ever notice the defense would let up, like when tackling and stuff like that? They would let up. They would get soft with tackling. It's like, no, you need to wrap up when you tackle. I mean, I guess that's how they were practicing in practice, but you have to wrap up. I would see it too many times that, you know, players would play a little bit more conservative. And I understand that you're trying to look out for your own safety and stuff, but look, you're also trying to win a ball game. You get paid a lot of money to win a game. So obviously don't do anything stupid, but like still like getting too soft. Like I think we saw a couple times like in some of these games this year, if they're trying to tackle the quarterback and the quarterback, like Mahomes in the one game, got out to the outside and he comes back in and it's like, you don't wrap up. You just think he's going out of bounds and he stops right before he gets out of bounds. And he's like, oh, I'm going to get more yards. Saw it with Josh Allen. This team, you know, and we obviously saw the horrible tackling in the Niners game, like absolutely disgusting, terrible tackling. And I don't know, like they need to be able to wrap up. So I'm hoping that these coaches that they brought in.
I feel like if we start losing again, take a lap. In the middle of after the game, don't go to the locker room. Take a lap. We need a tough coach. We need some of that. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of these games all just aside now, I was pretty upset because I'm like, yo, we are 10-1. We shouldn't be 10-2, 10-3, 10-4. Like we shouldn't be that. We should be all right. We won one game. Let's see what we did. Let's improve. That we had like one of the most. We had a play that people were trying to ban because we were doing it so good. We could have like I saw we did some audibles later on in the season with that, but we could have doctored that up a lot more. Treat play. We could have did some things with that, and we didn't really take advantage of that at all.
Exactly. I was gonna say real quick. I don't mean to interject. I was gonna say real quick because I don't think we got George's prediction on this game. So George, what do you think? Who do you think is gonna win this game? The Chiefs and the Niners? Because we went around. I was gonna ask you, but you were out for a second. So.
Yeah, no, I went out for a second. My bad, bro. I think my heart wants the Chiefs to kind of, if possible. I have no predictions, but I really think the Chiefs. You know, I like to kind of see them. But honestly, bro, I think like the 49ers are gonna pull it off. I'm gonna say the 49ers. I think they're gonna pull it off, in my opinion.
Okay, so four of us said the Chiefs, and you're actually the one that goes the other route. You went Niners. Yeah, I have a feeling the Chiefs are going to win, but I think it'll be a close game. You know, so you got the Niners winning.
Well, if the Niners can exploit some stuff, and you know, see how the Eagles beat them and all that, and the Niners beat the Eagles and beat all the teams too. You know, so I think predictability wise, and the way like with you know, it's basically like NFL math if you want to be honest with it. But I mean, it doesn't always work. We know that. We know how it is, but I think San Fran takes that, to be honest. I think, they have to get the momentum, but I think it'll be a tough one. It could be a toss-up, but I think I'm leaning more towards them, but I want the Chiefs, so in my mind, I'm going to think that they're going to win, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, I'm going to be realistic, and I think, they might get them. They might take it. But Mahomes is on his way to be one of the GOATs for sure. He's already, been great, and if he wins another one, he only adds to his legacy, and he helps a lot, so, Swift, not Swift, what the fuck, his name, Kelsey?
Travis. This man called her.
Who gives a fuck about Taylor Swift?
Exactly.
I'm a little fucked up
I
right
told
now.
you it's a storybook. It's a storybook prediction. That's what I'm calling it. The storybook prediction.
Man, yeah, fuck that fairy tale shit, bro. The better team's gonna win. Period. It doesn't even matter. But yeah, it's a storybook. You're right. It's exactly what it is.
Is it? Do you believe that the NFL is scripted?
Do I believe so? No.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I will say this: the logo
games
theory.
Are questionable. Hold on. Some games are questionable, but I don't think it's scripted. I want to say scripted.
The logo theory.
Do you think that the refs and I believe this for a fact. Do you think that the ref decides the game after a while? Like I feel like that's the script.
It's close. If it's close, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it be that way.
The
Referees
point
definitely
shaving,
have
the
factors.
calls,
Some
yeah.
terrible
Some
calls, very questionable
some
things,
touchdowns, yeah.
picking and
Some
choosing.
touchdowns that
Oh yeah,
could have
they
won,
pick
didn't win.
bad
Yeah.
calls, bad field goal. I mean, we've seen a lot of shit. Yeah, he gets the boys clearly. He's out and pass interference. We see some weird shit over. Over the years, even these Super Bowl the game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's scripted. I think it's rigged. And those are two different things in the sense of
Oh,
scripted
yeah,
insinuates
you're right.
that there's some sort of
Rigged.
script. It insinuates scripted. When you say scripted, it insinuates that this is like a play. Like this is organized step by
wrestling.
step. Yeah, like wrestling. Whereas rigged is like at any given moment, maybe a referee or someone a referee knows made a bet, and a particular referee is corrupt, and they're trying to rig the game or trying to push the game. Well, I believe it could be rigged at times.
Do you think the players are betting on
It's
themselves?
been known. I mean, it's been some, like I said, questionable games and possibly some rigging going on. But like I said, scripted is a different. Are you asking if it's rigged or scripted? I mean, it's a little different. But yeah, I know what you're saying, Rich. I feel that. We heard that before too. Even the betting lines and odds in Vegas have been, sometimes it's like who they want to win. Sometimes it seems like that team wins, but it's also the skill of players. I mean, it's also the games. Obviously, some good games. I mean, Brady won a couple of Super Bowls, so more power to that.
Brady is a goat, bro. He won things that people actually. So
status for sure. One of the best.
The Super Bowl that he shout out to Hoseville. He's a Philly rapper. I made a bet with him during the Falcons game and against Brady and the Patriots, and I said that they were gonna win and they were losing, like they were being blown out when I said it, and we made the bet and Brady came back and won, and that was like unbelievable. Mahomes did something similar with us, which is horrible, but I feel like I think the refs may decide the game at one point or another. It's a lot of calls that may or may not be good calls at the time. It's like basketball.
Yeah.
Like a lot of players foul you, but when are you going to call the fouls? Like,
Exactly.
Is every foul a good foul to call?
Sure.
So Todd said there's definitely bias in sports like the moneymaker, hometown, or country fighter usually winning MMA when it's a split decision. Yeah, and I definitely think officiating. I think officiating definitely
shady officiating happens.
Very shady at the end of games. I'm going to be honest. Like the game last year with the Chiefs and Eagles, like the fact that they weren't calling those type of calls all game, and then you call a soft call at the very end of a game.
Like what?
At the end of the day, there's no guarantee the Eagles win that Super Bowl, but the Chiefs there have to kick a field goal because it'd be fourth down, and it gives the Eagles 2 minutes to go down the field, and you can at least give us a shot. The fact that they pull out those type of calls, and that's the thing. I'm not just trying to sound biased because I'm an Eagles fan, but we've seen other Super Bowls that have been very questionable. I'm not gonna lie. Eli Apple got a very suspect call in the Super Bowl before that. Because what did we see the year before that? It was the Rams versus the Bengals. And I'm not going to lie, they gave Eli Apple a pretty suspect call in the red zone. They called pass interference or holding or something like that. I remember that game. And the Rams wound up cashing in, on it after the next play. They ran it in. The Rams won the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I do think that there are games where there's weird officiating and, certain things can affect. I do agree, though. There's a difference between rigged and scripted. I don't think the NFL's scripted. I don't think there's a script out there where somebody's looking at a piece of paper and like, okay, this is what we're going to do. But I definitely think that there's home cooking and like favorable calls that happen in weird situations. And I don't know. The field was weird last year, too, for the Eagles. Remember when we had remember how the field like was slippery? And you know what? That benefits an offensive team. Because we had the best D-line in football last year. We have 71 sacks last year.
One of the best defense, yeah.
And when you can't plant your foot and push off to charge, like that field definitely affected our defensive line, whereas we couldn't get off the line of scrimmage to be able to get to the quarterback. Now, I don't want to make excuses. I'm just being honest, is that field played a part. suspect as well. Why utilize that type of field and experiment with it?
It worked in their advantage, though. Unfortunately, I mean,
yeah, there was an experimental field that you're utilizing in a Super Bowl.
Right,
Questionable.
right.
I definitely
look
think
at-
they're suspect things.
Look at what Todd said, though.
Very
I
shady.
mean, the moneymaker, right? The moneymaker, right? Think about why they're sending the Eagles to Brazil for a first game.
Yeah, you heard about that?
Think about how much money. Think about how much money that Taylor Swift made the NFL this season. $586 million. $586 million just from her going to the games.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. $586 million Taylor Swift made the NFL.
Wow.
Yes.
You
So
said
they're
what?
gonna. I had said that. I was talking about speaking of what Todd said. The moneymaker.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how Taylor Swift made the NFL $586 million just by coming to the games this year.
That's why I think that they might propose, because like, how many people are going to tune in to see that? You feel me?
Or they'll just leave it to speculation and it doesn't happen, so people are going to tune in. Did you see that?
Tune in just to see if it will happen. Really.
It's in Vegas. Yeah, it's in Vegas this year too. You see, I think this is the most expensive Super Bowl ever. They said it's $9,900 is like the cheapest or average ticket or something like that. So the average ticket's $10,000. It's the most expensive Super Bowl we've ever seen. It's in Las Vegas. And yeah, even if he doesn't propose, it's going to be a hell of a lot of speculation. You're going to see the Swifties. You're going to see the people that can't stand Taylor Swift. I do think that's a little weird. You see like grown men just saying, F Taylor Swift and stuff like that. I don't think it is Taylor Swift's fault. Like, they don't shine the cameras on Taylor Swift. Like, and I mean, Taylor Swift doesn't choose for them to shine the cameras on her. Like, I do agree with that. That's like, it is enough to take away from.
If you ruin football and stuff, like, come on, bro.
It is. They're trying to. It's the NFL. They're shining the cameras on her.
Come on. Yeah.
It's crazy. It just takes away from the game.
Correction, boys, it's $331.5 million she made in the NFL. My fault.
I thought it was 300 and something million, but I don't want to correct because I didn't know that maybe if it was leading into the Super Bowl. Now I guarantee she brought a lot more money than that headed into the Super Bowl with all the Super Bowl merchandise and everything like that. So she could have brought another 100 million in, maybe.
That's still a shitload of money, man.
Highest ticket price for the Super Bowl tickets?
Yeah, $10,000. $10,000 for Super Bowl tickets.
$10,000.
Yeah.
That's
And
ridiculous.
you said that's the cheapest? That's not even at the 50-yard line?
I think it's the cheapest, $10,000.
Wow.
I'll have to look. Let me get my facts right.
What are
I
the
don't
hot
want
Lakers looking
to
like?
be wrong. Let me see.
Look at some numbers.
The most expensive is $2 million. I know that for a fact. The most expensive is $2 million. It's for those suites up top. $2 million. That's why Christian McCaffrey's mom was complaining. She was complaining about the prices.
Knew somebody with box seats.
It's expensive as hell, but it's like $1,000.
The whole box section is like $5 million or something, but they said it goes up to $8 million. So I don't know. But it's pretty. This is crazy. This is the highest thing. This is the most expensive I saw.
Yeah, so it's actually the average ticket price. The average ticket price is ranging from $8,600 to $9,800. They're saying so $8,600 to $9,800. I'm not sure what the cheapest is, but as you saw, $2 million. But they did say these are the most expensive Super Bowl tickets we've seen. But it makes sense. Las Vegas. Taylor Swift's going to be there too, so for them, that's huge market. Obviously, they know people that have the money are going to spend the money. So NFL's a moneymaker. They're going to make their money no matter what.
And they got Usher performing this halftime show, so they got that market. They got
Usher is this year. Yeah, I forgot. He's this year, right? Yeah.
So so you got that, and then again, not to mention
what I keep thinking?
jersey sales. I mean, there's a lot going on, bro. It's gonna be a lot of money raised. It's gonna be just a great.
This is
it's a good matchup.
This is me. Do you think that Taylor Swift will pop up in the halftime show?
Pop up in it? No, I don't think so. Not in it. I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna do it this time. Maybe, but not. It's a possibility, but I don't think so. I feel like
interesting.
They're gonna show her there in the audience, and she just be around. They're gonna show some footage of her chilling, cheering, but that's about it. They're not gonna. I think it's gonna be Usher and whoever else is slated to perform. I don't think so.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see.
It would be cool though.
Interesting
What am I
speculation. That should be like one of those betting parlays where you could like throw in like a prediction, like is Taylor Swift going to pop up and like plus 5,000 or something like that? Pop
No,
up.
that's a good. It's a good question, Red.
Something crazy.
That's a good call. Like, will she pop up? He's doing a call, right, Steve? And then like a pop up, and if she does, she does. If she doesn't, if you say no, she won't pop up, you won.
Are y'all doing anything for the Super Bowl this year or not? That's a good question too, because we're all Eagles fans here. Is anybody doing anything for the Super Bowl this year?
How many Eagles fans bought a Super Bowl ticket? That's what you need to think about. That's crazy.
I'll be at work, but I'm at the club this year. The first year in 2 years, because last year I was actually home. And
well, that's the year to be home is because the Eagles were playing. So that's this one's not really much to watch from me. But I know some Niners fans out there. I know some Niners fans. Good luck to your team. I don't got no issue. You know, whatever. You know, like I said, they'll talk about it for another 25 years if they win. And you know, I do agree that these are actually two really good head coaches going against it. But I always say this: Kyle Shanahan still does have something to prove. He's never won anything. He's been to – this is his second Super Bowl. But actually, if you actually consider it, it's his third because he choked the biggest lead as an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons when he went up against Tom Brady and the Patriots. So he's 0-2 in Super Bowls. This is his third, and he has something really big to prove because Andy Reid has been to many as well, but Andy Reid's won 2. So this will be Andy Reid's third if he wins. But that's – how many's Andy Reid been to? So he's 1, 2.
So they both got 2.
Yeah.
Both coaches.
All together? Like how many he's won or is that how many he's been in?
He's been in 1, he's been in 2, 3, 4. This is his
fourth Super Bowl.
Oh, Andy Reid talking about, right?
Yeah, you're right, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's had 1 with Philly and then with this one there'll be 3 with Kansas City.
No, this is his this is actually his 5th because he went to he has 2 rings with Kansas City. He lost 1 with Philly, and he's been at 1 now. That's 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he lost 1 to the Bucks too. So
yeah, I forgot about the Buccaneers one. Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is his 5th Super Bowl. He's 2-2 in Super Bowls. So he's 2-2. Yeah, he had 4 other opportunities to get there too with the Eagles. If we're being realistic, he had 4 other opportunities in NFC title games that he lost. So,
do you think that the players bet on themselves? And like, if they do you think it's like a good thing or a bad thing? Because they could always take the under instead of the over.
They always could through another person because you obviously can't bet on it as a player because we saw what happened to what's his name in Atlanta. I forget what his name was that bet on himself. They suspended him for a whole year over it. I forget who it was. Yeah, but do I think that there's players that probably bet through like a third party or something like that? Maybe. I mean, as long as it's not traceable back to them, they sign like an NDA or something. Like maybe.
Yeah.
But
you can't really regulate that. That's the hard part.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to know.
Do you see any?
Right now, so the betting line's looking good. I gotta check them out. FanDuel's on fire. A lot of people betting that day, bro.
You gonna bet, G?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I thought about it. We'll see. I'll be watching the game, but unfortunately, I could bet from where I'm at. But I mean, I wish I could watch it at home or somewhere like I could hear it. But it's cool. They got big bathrooms there with TVs. You can hear it on the floor. You can't hear much, but you can hear it when you're outside.
You'll be able to see it though. It's a gentleman's club and sports lounge, so I'm assuming they're gonna have it on the TVs.
Oh yeah, they got 4 TVs.
You told me last time I was on the call, you told me you were working at a gentleman's club, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lilas. I'm still there.
Yeah.
It's one of my side gigs, guys. Yeah, but it's definitely a nice one to have. And when the Super Bowl, I mean, only thing that sucks is the fact that you actually cannot hear it. Everything else is popping. Cigars, beautiful women everywhere, good vibes, music, chill, food.
I want to try the steak. Bro. I keep hearing about the steak. I want to try it.
Yeah, come through and get a steak, bro. I got you. I'll get you for free.
Steakhouse. That's why I said gentleman's club and steakhouse. They say the sports bar and steakhouse.
Sports steakhouse. Steakhouse.
Get some prime rib.
The Lala's Den and Steakhouse.
Yeah.
They've been around for years, bro. It's just like
G-Max Steakhouse.
G-Max. Oh yeah, right. I wish. Shit. Different. Nah, it's a million and point. It's a one. I mean, it's more than like how can I say it, bro? It's a million some 0.5. You know what I mean? 1.5 million club, bro. Worth club is more than that. It's probably between $1 million to $1 billion. He's probably not worth $1 billion, but close enough. You know what I'm saying? Because the lady that owns it, she's worth. You know what I mean? And the people that own it, they're big time. So
there's more than one Delilah's too.
Yeah, there's actually like 3, but like one is in AC, one shut down, I think. I'm not sure they're going to open it.
The
One is
main
in
one,
Tampa Rivers.
the main one's the
One
one
is
you work
Vegas.
at, though, right? Callow Hill.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big
Callow
one.
Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, Callow Hill.
It's not Ocala. It's in like Northern Liberties, but it's on Spring Garden.
Yeah. So it's close to Callow Hill. It's like right on Spring Garden. Yeah, Spring Garden.
Yeah, a lot of players and former players come there. So for the Super Bowl, it'll be nice there, bro. It's gonna be popping.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a nice crowd, probably. You know what I mean? But obviously, if Eagles were in it, or at least Eagles made the playoffs, you know, and down, went to the next stage, and didn't lose so quickly, would be a little better. But it is what it is. But I mean, the soccer games and basketball games bring some crowd out. Mostly basketball and soccer and baseball. If it's not NFL, obviously. But NFL always brings the best crowd. You know what I mean? Like if it's Eagles game, they're gonna come through for sure. And girls come in too. You might meet some pretty ladies there.
Okay.
3 ladies at the club.
I need Niners to lose. I'm sorry. Listen. I know you're saying like you guys have let it go, but obviously Debo hasn't, because like it's surfaced that Debo actually made a recent comment about the Eagles during the Super Bowl interviews when they asked him about the Eagles and the rivalry that they have now currently. He said
it was one.
Quote for quote. Well, I mean, we beat them in a game that mattered. You know, we beat them in a winner go home game. They beat us in a regular season game. But like he said, I consider rivalries close games. We ain't gonna talk about that no more. That's over with. So that's what Debo said about the Eagles. So still a little bit of shade, still a little bit of animosity there. It's definitely no love lost. But for me,
No love lost.
Look at what Mahomes says about the Eagles, right? Look at what Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis is on there. They say positive things about the Eagles, right? Even though we're I don't know if we're considered rivals. Probably not. We're not in the same conference. But it just seemed like it's just kind of like, man, I'm thankful for Fred Warner. That's all I gotta say. He's a beast. He's one of the best, to me, the best linebacker in the NFL.
Yeah.
McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL. Let's be real. McCaffrey is a tackle breaker. So I think it's gonna be a good Super Bowl. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be good play.
It's easy to talk big when you play in like the most dominant, like well put together offense in football. So I mean, Debo can say what he wants. Man, it's still emotional. The fact that you're still talking about the Eagles and we're not even in the Super Bowl, it's like, dude, like.
I mean, I told you, he kind of like showed me a little bit of his talent, but like he still has to prove it. Like you still got to prove that. And like I want to see what you got. Since you got a lot of stuff to say, we're gonna see. Honestly, you might not score.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like Debo is good, but he's like a gadget. He's a gadget player. I mean, he is. Like, I mean, he could probably plug him into different teams. He's not a number one. If they lost like Christian McCaffrey, like we all know, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it was, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. They do. They have the best running back in football, best middle linebacker in football, and Fred Warner. They got Nick Bosa, who's arguably best defensive tackle in football. And then, it's arguable. I would probably say Travis Kelce might be better, but George Kittle is arguably like they're the top 2 tight ends in football.
Yeah.
Like, people always forget about George Kittle. Ayuk's had a good year. I wouldn't say he's a top receiver in football, but he's had a good year. Who else do they have over there? They have some other receivers too. But, Debo's good. You know what I mean? He's a good player. He's a gadget player though. He's fast.
I don't think he's good enough to talk shit about the Eagles, though.
Nah, he's just talking. I mean, that they really were. They got really soft about last year. I never seen an organization whine so much. It kind of reminded me when the Saints got robbed against the Rams, and then Sean Payton and the organization and the whole city complained to the NFL for like 2 years over it. But see, theirs was more warranted. They had a BS call that was called on them. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the most ridiculous pass interference calls I've ever seen, and it wasn't called, and it cost them the game. But like, the Niners were just complaining. They're like, you hurt our quarterback. Like, at the end of the day, the goal is to win the ball game. It's not our fault that you put a freaking tight end on Reddick, who was the like sack leader behind Bosa last year. That's on you that Purdy got hurt over that. So I don't understand what they were crying about last year. Like it's just we didn't really talk a lot of trash on them. I feel like our team was more humble after. I mean, I won't say humble. Obviously, teams talk, but like we didn't talk to the extent that they did. We won the game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they like what was it? Marius, you remember this? Remember the LeBron James Klay Thompson thing when Klay
Yep.
Thompson? I don't know. I guess the man just got his feelings hurt.
I feel like we should have talked though. I feel
I
like
mean,
I feel like that's like I feel like that's like we kind of soft now. Like I feel like we should have talked. Like if they're gonna talk, if they didn't talk, right? I feel like all right, you don't talk, you don't brag or nothing like that. Because
I
at the
don't.
end, but if you're gonna try and call us a fluke, or you're gonna try and say our win is a fluke, like, and that's what Fred Warner was talking about. Like, shouldn't have said that. And like it's soft for us not to respond. I think some players responded, but I think overall, like we were kind of told. I
Well,
feel like the players were
I
told
mean,
just don't say
I feel
nothing.
like our fans talk for our players because, like, one thing, like, even with James Harden, not like not no shade towards him. I feel like he's playing better now, but like, we got the type of fans that run players out the league or out the stadium and stuff like that. Ben Simmons, Cowboys, like Cowboys fans, not even good in Philly. Like feel me, like so, like we have like a crazy fan base where we can run actual players out the city just because of rivalry or they talking shit about our players and stuff like that. So we have a good fan.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not taking away from that. That's definitely 100% true what you just said. It's just that for me,
Hello,
I think it
can you hear
goes
me?
in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We hear you. No, I was just saying what you just said. Speaking of what you just said, like I 100% feel you on that one. Like our fan base is can do a lot of the talking for the players, but I'm just worried about the toughness of the culture. What you mentioned earlier is like I know one thing. It's one thing to talk, but it's one thing to walk, right? And I just felt like we should have been more tougher when having a team like the 49ers who kind of wanted talked a lot about what they was going to do to us beforehand, and it's just like I just feel like that game we weren't prepared, like, and I feel like yeah we need better coaches. Like hopefully these guys who coming in are going to have these players prepared and have these players worked out to the best of their ability so that they can reach their full potential, because I just feel like what we saw in 2022 um to 2023, it's just a night and day thing. And I mean, coaches are everything for player development, so I'm just so excited to get some new guys up in here.
Same, bro. Same. Something's got to change. We can't have another
Yeah,
collapse like that, man. That was too embarrassing. First team in NFL history to be 10-1.
I
Do not
mean
finish the year with over
we
12 wins.
we went out bad, but honestly, we did have a good season though, even though we went out bad. So we
Yeah,
my
that's true.
connection. I'm switching my connection right now, so it's iffy. Hold on, give me a second, guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. We went out bad, but and that speaks to those first 10 games. Like like what we were saying earlier, like you can be a good coordinator. You can have your stuff together, but if you're set in your ways and you only do things one way and you don't adjust to the season, and that's why if you notice what the Bills did, I don't know if you remember what the Bills did, Steve, where they kind of got stuck in a funk, and that was around the time where Bills had lost to us, lost to a couple other teams that they were expected to beat, and then Bills actually in that time fired their offensive coordinator and got a new offensive coordinator, and they actually ended the season stronger.
Yeah,
Oh, Steve, I think you're muted or
Yeah, I can't hear.
your audio. Nah, I think your audio is disconnected. Check your mic. You might have to unplug it. You might have to unplug your mic possibly too and just talk. Nah, I'm gonna let him operate his computer and do your thing. But yeah, Maris, what do you think of what I just said? Like, how do you feel about kind
But
of.
nah, we got lucky though, man. If you actually look at some of those games, bro, I mean, the Bills won. We got lucky because we ended up winning in overtime. And actually, if you look at that game more closely, when it went to overtime, Buffalo got the ball first, and they drove all the way down the field. And remember, Josh Allen threw it, and he had his receiver wide open. And I don't know if he lost the ball in the light or whatever it was, but the timing was off, and he didn't catch it. And he was wide open in the end zone. Had he caught that, we would have lost the game, and it gave us the opportunity to come back and win. Then also in that Kansas City game, if you remember, the Chiefs had that huge drop where the guy was wide open, man, and he dropped in the end zone. I mean, if Kansas City scores there, obviously you don't know what can happen. We get the ball back, we get an opportunity to respond. But with that way the game was going, man, if he catches that, that's another loss. So you potentially could be looking at 7 losses. And then on top of that, if you remember earlier in the year, remember when we played against the Commanders, we were up on them, and then we allowed them to come all the way back. They scored on the final play of the game in the fourth quarter, and they sent that game to OT. And we were very, very fortunate to walk away with a win like that, man. So there were cracks even earlier in the year, but the thing was, when you win, those cracks get masked. And then what happens is when you lose, that's when you get exposed. And I don't know what happened in that Niners game, man, but they got exposed. And then that led to an ass whooping when they played Dallas. And then I think Seattle just put the icing on the cake, because I think once they lost to Seattle, they were just morally done. I don't know what it was, but when they lost to Seattle, they were just morally defeated.
Yeah,
They
that
didn't
was
care
a
anymore. They quit on the players quit on them. They quit on the coach, and it was a wrap. And then you saw we were actually very fortunate to win that Christmas game against the Giants.
Exactly.
I mean, had Tyrod Taylor started that game, I'm telling you right now, we would have lost that, dude.
I was gonna say, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My thing had gone to like airplane mode for a second, or like earlier,
Okay.
and then I reconnected. So and then I think I had to take myself off the screen and bring myself back on. It was weird. But
Sure,
I was
wasn't
saying,
the Niners fan hacking us, bro?
I don't know if this
I
person down
think
here.
Debo. As soon as we start talking about Debo, my man.
Swain Bros.
We got hacked.
Swain Bros.
Swain, you hacked us.
He commented and just subbed. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the sub, my man. But no, I was saying I was trying to comment when Rich was saying they switched their offensive coordinator. I was like, yeah, they signed Joe Brady. I mean, not signed. They moved Joe Brady to the offensive coordinator position, and then I think they went on like a 7-1 like record the rest of the year, like into the playoffs. But and the only loss they lost was to the Eagles, and honestly, they came very close to winning that game. So they actually made a decision, mid-year to actually switch the coordinators. You're right. But I do agree with you guys, too. I've been saying this, and for people I know, Philly 500 knows this, too. They had internal sources, and something happened where I think in between that Bills and that Niners game, I think that the players addressed the coaches. They were shunned, shut out, like dismissed. And I think that just changed the attitude of that locker room. Because even though they won, they had been barely scraping by in wins to Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, going into that Niners game. And I think something was dismissed. And this is all I've heard, and I can only go off speculation, off internal sources. Something happened in between that game. And I don't know. And that's the thing that's going to be critical here, too, is if Nick Sirianni was part of the problem last year. Because I'm going to be honest, if he needs to let go of the play calling duties. Because I've heard from internal sources that Brian Johnson only controlled about 25 to 35% of the offense, and Sirianni controlled the other half. So I don't know how true that is. But if that's the case, Sirianni needs to be completely hands-off and let Kellen Moore handle this offense.
Steve, they already took that away from Sirianni.
It's the only way that he would have been able to come back. I don't think Lurie would have let him come back. That's why they had that conversation.
Yeah.
Sirianni, Todd said, yeah, plus, I think this is Todd. He said, yeah, plus when Sirianni yelled at the end of the Chiefs game, I don't hear you talking shit now, Chiefs fans. Yeah, and he said, see ya. I remember that. And then, yeah, another thing, Sirianni, I know he wears his heart on his sleeve, and I don't want to say, from, a culture perspective, he's Italian. Italians kind of, they like to talk and stuff like that. He's just how he is. That's his heart on his sleeve. He's emotional. And, but sometimes this is not a good look for a coach, too. I wanted to go back to your point, too, Rich, about, us not responding to them. I'm, the type of belief that, our actions on the field back it up. So I'm the type of guy that, you talk shit. Maybe it's my ego, but I'm gonna show you up where it matters, and I'm gonna But that's what the Eagles didn't do. The Niners talked all that shit. We didn't back it up where the hell it mattered. It's you talk that shit in my head. I'm mentally prepared. When I play you on the field, you better watch out. Because, like, especially if I'm on the defensive side, Debo's coming across the middle, I'm going to pop your ass. Like, I'm not playing. Like, you got to go in with intensity and with anger. Because, like, I'm telling you right now, like, it's like if they were talking that shit and you're playing, you need to come in there like, cool, I'll see you on the field and just keep it to yourself. And just
in my house, too? You in my house?
You're coming to my house talking that?
I'm punching you in the mouth. Bro. You come in my house talking crazy like that. That's
you on the field, bro. Beat you on the field. Like, and I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't even respond to him. Because that's the thing. It's like, you have to be thinking in your head, it's like, you're still crying about that from last year, but you knew they were going to come into our house pissed. Yeah. So it's like, you got to be ready to smack them back, right back. It's like, you know, and he said, shout out to homies on the panel. I don't want Mahomes to win another one. So let me see.
I understand that too, because, he did beat us, but it's like this game is really 50-50. It can really go either way.
Right.
Yeah, Dante, from a betting perspective, would you recommend to take the points, or would you recommend to bet straight up?
What do you mean by take the points?
Like they have the like, for example, say if I wanted to bet for the Chiefs, they have the Chiefs at 2.5 underdogs, and then I don't know what the line is straight up. So if the Chiefs lose by, let's say, 2, even though they lose, you still win the bet. But if you bet straight up, I think you win more money.
I honestly, all right. So for my bet, I'm literally gonna not bet money line or anything. I'm gonna just bet on players, and then
parlay.
Then I will. Yeah, I might do anytime touchdowns, and I might also do yardage and running yardage and receiving, maybe passing.
If you were to take money line, who would you take the points, or would you just go straight? Would you bet straight up? Would you take?
This is what I'm gonna do. I want to see who's winning in the halftime. I really feel like the 49ers are gonna win, which is gonna make the Chiefs number a little bit higher, the plus number a little bit higher. So I think that spread number, when it goes up, when I hit that money line, when they come back, I'm gonna be up. We're all gonna win. So that's my prediction in betting right now. I'm still thinking about it. I want to do some more research and see what's going on. I know Mahomes just had like a problem with his dad. I don't know how that may or may not affect him in the game. His dad got arrested for DUI. So like all that matters when you're betting. I know like for that Super Bowl, when that Andy Reid Super Bowl was, his son got arrested for a DUI. You notice that? It's like little patterns. So now his Mahomes' dad got arrested for a DUI. How will that affect him in the game? Will that affect him? How close is he with his dad? I know he's close. Dad played baseball. He played baseball. So, like, can he play through the pain or that or him thinking about, hey, is my dad gonna be okay? They have money, so they can do what they got to do. I think his dad will do some jail time because it's his third time. So, like, how will that affect him playing the game? So he might say, I gotta do this for my dad, or he might feel bad about it. You never know, but it can affect him. You don't know how it's going to affect him. That's the main thing. So it's a lot of factors in the betting. I honestly would say money line would be like a good thing to do as a live bet. Take the points. I would take I would take the points. If you want to just bet before the game, smart thing to do is to see how it goes, and see how the points change before the game starts. That happens a lot.
Do you think the Chiefs? Like so the Chiefs are favored 2.5? Do you think the Chiefs cover that line?
Hold on. I'm literally just about to check so I could.
No problem. Dante, we had you. I know you switched. I think from your phone. We had two of you in here.
Yeah, we had an intruder and shit.
Oh, for real?
Chris here, you can't see the name. You can't see the name, so it's like when you remove it, it's. Now I think you.
So I downloaded the app and I didn't realize it had downloaded. So I was like, "Oh, let me just go through the app."
Did you ever see that movie Unfriended, where it's like the random person is like in the random person is like sitting in the chat room?
I saw the trailer. I never actually saw that.
It's like that horror movie where the person just sitting in. Turn the camera on with somebody random as hell. So this was Rob here, by the way, Rich. He said, shout out to the homies on the panel. Don't want Mahomes to win another one. I know y'all had, because they took it from us last year. And it says, do you think
Shout
there
out,
will
my
be
guy.
more Chiefs or 49ers fans at the Super Bowl? So let me give your props to, I'm going to see who commented it first.
I feel like everybody
Todd.
that has a ticket
My
will
boy.
be there. Every team,
Just
because you
people
gotta
with
think.
money.
Yeah, Vegas.
I think there's going to be more Niners fans. I do.
You want to know something that I didn't realize until like I started like I was doing Uber and I started talking to people. Some people actually take loans out for these tickets. So some of these
Doesn't shock
people
me.
they work regular jobs and they just take a loan out for a ticket.
Fucking dumb.
Doesn't shock me because this the amount of debt that this country's in and like the consumer debt that people take out doesn't shock me. To me,
I
it's not.
I hope they pay it off, man. That's a shitload of interest you got to pay back if you just pay the monthly rate.
Do you realize you have to?
I'm
you have
just
to pay
saying.
for the plane ticket and a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather pay straight up for anything I'm doing in life. But I'll be honest, like if you're gonna take out debt, I'd rather travel somewhere than freaking go to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah,
travel.
Yo, all the imagine, dude. You said 10,000 is the cheapest ticket. Imagine all the places you can visit with $10,000, man.
You go to the freaking Maldives with $10,000. I'm gonna be honest. You could take a $10,000 trip to the Maldives, and you
You
could
could
go
take
to
a $10,000 trip anywhere.
literally. Like you could go to freaking maybe even I don't know about Bora might be a little bit too expensive, but I'll be honest. Like you go to the freaking Maldives for 10 days with that. You could go anywhere. You go to Puerto Rico. You could probably go there for a whole 2 months with 10 grand. So I mean,
Right.
like let's be realistic.
In Puerto Rico, you can probably buy a house for 10 grand, bro.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but
Not might not be the biggest house in the world, but
be a little shack. You can buy.
definitely get an apartment. Like
Nah,
out there.
you can get an apartment here for 10 grand. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, like
you'll get like
downtown, like-
maybe do a 6 months rent. You know what I mean?
All right, vámonos, amigos. Let's roll, man. We going to Puerto Rico.
Roll out. So
Yo,
Todd said, "Do you think there'll be more Niners or Chiefs fans there?" I personally think the Niners have the stronger. The Chiefs really do
I
have a
think
good fan base,
Niners.
but I think the Niners have the bigger fan base. If I'm being honest, so I'm gonna say the 49ers.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the 49ers, but not because of the
49ers.
fan base, but more so because San Francisco's closer to Vegas than Kansas
That's-
City
yeah,
is.
that's what I'm about
That's
to ask.
actually
I was
true.
about to say who's closer, because like it might just be a drive, but at the same time you never know. You got one thing that is a possibility is you got a bunch of Taylor Swift fans, so they might just
51%,
yeah, women might just be going
49%
there
for the
just
for the
because
Niners.
she's there.
I was just about to say that. You got to count the bandwagons too, for
There'll be a
real.
lot of people-
Women
yeah,
don't
a lot of
even
Taylor
know
Swift fans
about
for sure.
football. They were like, "I'm a Taylor Swift fan. She's
A
with
lot of
Kelsey. I'm
country
with Kelsey."
fans.
Like
Yeah,
Kelsey has probably the most profitable jersey right now.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not gonna lie. I might have to marry. I might have to propose on the field. I'm
Good
not
point.
gonna lie.
He said, "Good point." But there'll be a lot of Swifties there. Yeah, you took the same words as us, man.
If
Yeah,
he-
a lot of Swifties.
Because if he proposed on the field, I promise you, his jersey is gonna sell out everywhere, bro.
yeah,
they can
that's
have a
gonna be
fake.
bad.
They can have a fake proposal, and like that would bring the NFL so much money just based off.
Fuck
that
around,
fake
have a
proposal.
wedding in halftime. Like they gonna cancel the Usher show for the Taylor Swift wedding.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
What do you think, George? You think Travis Kelce's going to propose to Taylor?
That really needs
No.
to be a bet.
I don't think
What
so.
do you think about? What do you think about the
I don't think it's
Gronkowski
gonna
kick?
happen.
What's that?
Gronkowski kick.
I said I don't think it's gonna happen.
$10,000, $10 million splitting to whoever thinks what. I did my research, right? He made a kick in high school or something like that counted, so he couldn't kick the field goal. Like, but high school and being like 40 something years old is like I don't know how is the exact age. Like he might be like late 30s, but like being like high school and 30s is way different. You could probably do a lot of shit for the first time, like and get it good in high school that you can't older.
Facts.
So, but he has made a kick. He might have had practice. He might have been a kicker before, like when he was younger and stuff. The skill might not have left. He might just do kicks like during practice. Like, hey, I can kick the ball. Like, he has little bets and jokes and shit. So I made the bet. He missed it last time he did it. So I feel like he's gonna make it this time. So I made the bet saying he would make the kick.
Oh, word. Okay, you said he's gonna make it.
I think he's gonna make it just because he made it before, and I don't know how many times he made it like in the past of just playing around. So
Yeah, of course. Interesting.
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna. Todd said there's gonna be a lot of Swifties there too. I'm like, yeah, I think.
Oh yeah.
There will be a lot of Taylor Keith Swizzle fans chilling at the Raiders stadium. There was a picture. It said it had the Raiders. It said, because you know how the Raiders used to be Oakland and San Francisco's on the other side. So it's like the Bay Area, like the Oakland versus like San Francisco rivalry. But then at the same time, you have the Chiefs in the same division. It said Raiders fans seeing the Chiefs and the Niners on their field. It showed like Raiders fans punching like Chiefs fans or like Niners fans. It said Raiders fans.
If the Raiders would have went, it would have been like Vegas would have been way more crazier. I'm not gonna lie.
Raiders fans are nuts. Yeah. But I feel bad that they moved them out of Oakland. But I mean, Raiders fans are crazy. They're crazy.
Now, I feel like it's gonna be a good game. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. It's gonna be very interesting. I don't know. You guys got any same game parlays or like SGPs like that you're gonna do, like same game parlays or anything?
Not at the moment. I'm still like looking and doing my research.
I'm gonna have to see. Might throw some money down. I don't know.
I feel like Kelsey will score a touchdown. He's definitely gonna do some yardage. I feel like he might be double teamed. If he's not double teamed, he's definitely gonna get some yardage. I think he's gonna get the ball a lot more just because Taylor Swift is in the building in the Super Bowl.
He's gonna have the he's gonna score a touchdown and then do what is it? The heart to Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Now
I don't know.
It's gonna be more.
One thing about it though, he is an athlete and a team player, so he might just do what he has to do to actually win the game.
No Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
You don't want to see no Taylor Swift fans, see?
No.
Nobody cares about Taylor Swift fans.
Yeah.
He's like FT said, you better watch out, George. There's gonna be some Swifties commenting in here.
Yeah,
like, no, right? Who's that dude George?
Where's his address?
Yeah, like
my shit.
He'll have a whole riot in the morning. He gonna wake up for work. A bunch of people in news channels and everything. Like, what do you say about this Swift? Like,
yeah, let's not piss them off. I love Taylor Swift. I just don't want to really see them. I'd rather see some, hip hop fans on the stands, during the halftime show. But who cares?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game. Though. Definitely excited to watch this game. But I'm gonna be watching it closely for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go for Kansas City. It's just that I think San Francisco might take it though. I feel like they have a lot of momentum and they look good against a lot of teams. So
you're rooting for Kermit,
but it's gonna be a close one. Any predictions? But
you're rooting for Kermit.
Yeah, we'll see.
Say Kermit's gonna win the Super Bowl.
Kermit more like 49ers fans too.
If you look on my wall, there's a picture of Patrick Mahomes. It's a pretty cool picture you got here on my wall right here.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah.
That's the realest picture I've seen in a while. Yeah, just jump.
I'm here in the Super Bowl. I'm here. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Man,
dude.
Speaking about pictures, man, I have a thing of
Hey man, look a picture.
Debo.
You good?
See if I can pull it up.
It's the winner. He they might win it, so who knows?
You said you got a picture of Debo.
Who gets last?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's very accurate, man. I like it.
4K picture, bro.
Oh wait, Debo's in the waiting room. Hold on, let me add him on.
Man, I wish, bro. I had some words for this man talking about my Eagles, man.
Crazy.
Bring Debo up on here. I should bring Hollis in here and be like, "Yo, Hollis, hey George, call Hollis. Tell him to hop on."
I might, bro. I called him last time. He didn't answer.
My boy,
he's in Florida, but
hop on, bro.
He's always at the club. He's always there, But I'll hit him up. See if he comes on.
I don't care, bro. He can step outside and live stream. Obviously, we can't have him for privacy reasons. Obviously, he can't be on video in the club, obviously for privacy reasons. But tell him to step outside.
Of course. Privacy reasons are a motherfucker, but he probably watches, because he got his watch, he got a little, his phone up there. Niggas bring small iPads and all that. You could definitely watch something there and see what's going on, But yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be nice in there, bro. It's just that right now everybody's flying out there. All those guys, they'll fly out, bro. They'll go out there because they got money. So if they can go out there, like Rich said, they can afford it. It's like if they got a friend that got a ticket or a friend that brings them with their whole little crew, they might go out there. If not, they're gonna watch it at home at a nice Airbnb or at the club, like you said. I mean, it'd be like Hollis owns like 2 nice spots anyway, so they be all over the place. But they do talk shows, so they're always watching the Super Bowl. Let's not get it twisted. All the former players are somehow watching. You know what I mean? Because they got connections, the plugs to the NFL or to the teams a little bit, somewhat. So.
Of course.
Somewhere out there's parlays on how many times Taylor Swift is gonna hug Brittany Mahomes,
or how many times she's gonna get shown on TV. I guarantee how many times they're gonna show her.
Somewhere out there.
There probably is one on the Kelsey thing too with the heart when he does like the heart. They're probably gonna be like, "Can you remember that? Did you see that in like the Ravens game?"
Last year, Rihanna did the Super Bowl half show.
He went like looked up at the box and gave her the heart.
Taylor was there for both.
This is what our Super Bowl has been degraded to, man. We're betting on who's going to be giving out hearts, man. God damn.
Todd said, "Yo, fellas." Yeah, he said, "Yo, fellas, great podcast. But the poker table is calling me. I'll be at the Borgata for the Super Bowl. Come through if you can.
Word.
Whatever you do, have fun and be safe, Bird Gang."
Oh yeah, Todd. If you're hearing this, man,
you as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Todd. If you're hearing this, man, I'm just curious. Any specials at Borgata for the Super Bowl, bro? In terms of like watching the game, or like any specials on tables, anything like that?
Yeah, last year
I'm just curious.
Yeah, last year we looked, and the only thing I saw was Tropicana, but you had to get a ticket to Chickies and Pizza to drop at some point last year. But yeah, if you know any specials, feel free to drop them in here. But yo, Todd, good luck on the poker tables, my guy.
Yeah, man, get that money, bro.
Appreciate you, Todd. Always comment, guys. Thank you for commenting. For sure.
So Todd's gonna be at the Borgata on Sunday. Todd's gonna be at the Borgata. So if anybody's around, hit up the Borgata. My boy Todd is can't miss him. Tall.
Why not?
Play like a ball player. He's tall like a ball player.
I'm about to get out of here soon. I just want to say, come check me out. I actually haven't been posting in a while for my Watson's Locker page on Instagram, but you could check it out. I will be posting some picks for the Super Bowl.
It's the time to post.
Yeah, I have been doing private picks, like so people just hit me up in the DMs or like messages and say, "Hey, like just ask me for a pick." So now I'll be posting some picks. Check my story out. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll all win something in the Super Bowl. The only thing I can say is I really feel like Chelsea's gonna get an anytime touchdown.
Really?
I got Debo for 0 touchdowns because
family.
He said stop saying that.
But no, guess what?
I'm with that. Debo 0 touchdowns. I vouch for that.
Yeah. Once you talk shit about the Eagles, man, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I don't think Debo is. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just talking shit. He actually might score 1, but hopefully he'll be shut down because it's a Super Bowl. So, man, I don't want him to score.
He's coming off an injury too.
Oh, he is?
Sure.
Yeah. He was out the last 2 playoff games. He was out.
All right, then he actually might not do anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to look and see how Kansas City's defense plays scheme wise. But he might not. I don't know. Kansas City, they might. It depends on who they're gonna cover because they might take away one of their players, which could be Kittle though. It could be Kittle. Could be Ayuk. Could be Debo. Yeah. I know McCaffrey's going to get his no matter what. So McCaffrey is a safe bet. You can bet McCaffrey.
You goated. Yeah, I got McCaffrey for 50 yards.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, McCaffrey's going to have.
Yeah, probably like an 80-yard game, but I do safe bets too. I feel like the safe bet is 50. You could definitely do 80.
50 is a safe. Yeah, it's a safe.
I would do about the lowest receiving yards. I feel like he might have to become get some receiving yards too.
Yeah, McCaffrey's probably a safe bet for a first touchdown, like first touchdown of the game, because it depends on who gets the ball. Like I said, I think the Niners or the Chiefs are going to score first, depending on who gets it first. But yeah, I'll be honest, if the Niners get the ball first, I think it's pretty safe to say McCaffrey might be first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, I also like this is for anybody that like betting and thinking that their team is going to make it to the Super Bowl. Make that bet now for next year, honestly, because that's going to be your highest, right? If you do it now or in the summer, it's going to be your highest like prop to win. Even yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. If it was Ravens and 49ers and that logo conspiracy theory held up with the purple and the red for this year, because the last two was yellow and orange 2 years ago, which was Rams and Bengals, and last year was green and red, which was Chiefs and Eagles. Next year's is green and purple. I would have bet ahead of time and just went Ravens Eagles as the Super Bowl next year.
That might be the thing, but they changed the Super Bowl logo a couple times this year, which was the first. I think people caught on to it, so they try to say, "Oh, we can't let them know." So
exactly.
Then we got red on red. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I'm out, man. Thank y'all for inviting me, man. It's been a good time.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for man. Definitely hit me up. It was a pleasure having you on, bro. And yeah, definitely drop that stuff on your IG, man. Gives this is the time to obviously do the betting and the parlays and stuff. It's Super Bowl, that time of the year. But yeah, check out Dante, aka Tizzy over here, on Watson's Locker. If you want, you can put your IG stuff in the comments, or if you want.
All right, I got you.
And
I don't even know how to join.
Take care, brother.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Take care, bro. Thank you for joining, man.
Right.
Appreciate you.
Man, have a good night, bro.
Matter of fact, I'm out too, homie.
yeah. I'm about to be out too. Yeah. What's up, George? We're actually about to end the podcast, bro.
Yeah, I'm here.
We're on here for a minute, so I just want to thank you guys for coming on. I mean, we'll see what happens with the Super Bowl. I'll hit you guys up for it. I'm not sure what anybody's doing for it. But,
I gotta be on myself. But it was a good show for sure, guys. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, likewise, guys.
See you, bro.
Thank you, Dante. And he left, but appreciate Dante's coming as well. In the last few weeks, guys have been here. Some guys haven't been in the show, but there's a half. Thank you. Thank you, Marius and Rich, for sure.
Anytime, bro.
Exactly. All right, fellas. Well, I just want to say thank you, Rich, Mario, and I already said Dante for coming on. Rob couldn't make it, but Rob did comment in, so appreciate everyone that commented in too. It was Todd, Rob, Swain Bro Sports. Everyone that commented in, appreciate you all. We'll be back next Thursday for episode 162. Should be a very interesting episode with the guests that we have lined up and the topics. So looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Super Bowl 58, wherever you're watching it, guys, enjoy.
Enjoy the Super Bowl for sure. And hang out with your families and watch it. Celebrate it nice. Whether you go out or stay in, it's going to be a good game.
Exactly.
A lot of pop media culture moments, it's going to be like, Taylor Swift kissing her, mother-in-law kissing her, future fiance or whatever the fuck. But yeah, it's going to be good with them. It's going to definitely be some good moments. The halftime show, definitely some good teams, Mahomes, trying to make history again. And, it's like some good stuff. It's going to be a good game. So,
exactly.
We'll see, guys. Maybe we'll see each other at some point. Who knows? I mean, shit. You guys can always come through at some point there. I'll be working, unfortunately. So if I wasn't working, I'd probably meet up with Steve or something, or one of you guys. But next time.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. I'm going to take off. But for everybody else out there, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And thank you guys again for joining the podcast. It's Locked In Podcast production. And we shall see you next week for episode 162. Have a great night, fellas.
Great night. All right, guys. Good night. Have a great weekend.